Hello and welcome to this video on slicing your STL and uploading it to the Dremel Ideabuilder. It's a very simple process, so the first thing you need to do is find your STL file. Mine is actually here. I need to print a washer for use. So I'm going to just double click on the STL file, and you will just double click on your STL file as well. And it's going to open up the Dremel it's going to open up the Dremel Ideabuilder software. So you can see this is my washer. It is a very tiny washer, and that is okay. I am actually going to duplicate this. So to duplicate it, you would click it, go to Edit, and then select Duplicate. So you can see now I have two of these files right here, two of these washers that I need, and I am ready to build this. If your file is too large, you can always scale whatever you're working on by selecting whatever your object is. You click Scale, and then you can either make it go up or down. As well as uniform scaling, you can uncheck that, and then that will just change either the X, Y, or Z axis, whichever you're changing. Otherwise, usually leave uniform scaling on. That way, it doesn't mess too much with the object. You can also rotate your object. It's a very simple process. You can just hit the X, Y, or Z like that, and then flip it to however you need. And then whenever you flip an object, you always want to make sure you click on platform, just so it's then rested back on the platform. So a very simple process, but just making sure that your file is ready to go. You'll know that your file is good to go because if it's selected, it's highlighted in blue. If it's too far up, let me show you that, it'll turn red, just like that. So we want to make sure that it is blue when selected. Next, I'm going to be building this onto my SD card for the Dremel Ideabuilder. So all I do is I click Build. You can choose your resolution. Low is kind of a low grade. It's very thick lines. Standard, just kind of normal. Low is more for rapid prototyping. Standard is for doing some more intricate tests. And then high resolution, that's going to be your best. It's going to be your most secure and most stable as well, especially if you're building a part that's going to need to be used a lot. Here, if I click on Infill, I can change the density or how much plastic is going to be within my piece that I'm making. So right now, my washer is about 35% plastic on the inside. I could increase that all the way up to 100 or to 5%. I recommend never going below 5% just because when you get to the final top pieces, especially larger structures, it's not going to look as good on the top. So again, don't go under 5%. You can choose your build speed and travel speed. I recommend not messing with these because it can mess up the printer unless you're a more experienced user. You can change the temperature of the extruder. This is helpful if you're working with different plastics. Some plastics require a higher melting point. We, however, use PLA. It's a plant-based and is at 220 is the recommended rating for that. And then others here, you can have it turn the fan on, as well as the overhang threshold. That means how will it actually print anything above 45 degrees? And the answer is no, it won't. It'll get stuck. It won't know what to do. So you can change that. So yeah, that's just about it. I'm just going to go with high. I have SD card selected. I'm going to click OK. And it's going to pop up a window that's going to ask me where I would like to save it. Right now you can see it said working on. Right now it's going into my desktop. I need to change that so it's on the SD card. Mine is as the F drive there, but yours might be labeled as something different. I'm going to also rename this as washer, just so it's easier for me to find. So, washer, and then you can see it's going to save as a type .g3drem. This is important because this is the only slicing that the Dremel understands is the .g3drem. When I'm ready, I click Save, and it's going to build it out over here. It's going to let you know. Mine's going to take fairly quick just because it was a short print. It's a really tiny print. Other items I found, I built a Mount Everest. That one took maybe 2 minutes to slice everything correctly with resolution set to high. So there it is, 2 minutes. Now I'm going to unplug my SD card. and you can check out how we get this operational on the Dremel. Alright, so we're ready to begin loading our filament. As you can see, once it hits that 100%, it will give you a nice beep to let you know. You just click Next, and it's going to start extruding the filament for you to load that in correctly. So all you do is you just place it in there, get that nice and close, and you just feed it into that spot there. And you just let it keep going until you feel the stepper motor start tugging on it. And then it's going to pull the filament with it. So if I let go, I can put my finger here, and my finger is going to start slowly moving down like that. Another good way to see if it's working is you just go down here, and you're going to look right there, and once you see your color filament, mine is now extruding that green filament, you're all set up. You just click here, click Finish, and you're done. So now we've loaded our filament correctly. We'll click back. We're going to take our SD card, and on the right hand side there is a little slot there, and you just push that in. You hear a satisfying click to know that it's secure in there, and we're ready now to build. I'm going to click back, and then I select Build, and then from there I'm going to choose the one that looks like an SD card, and I'm going to find the one that I wanted. So I want to build the washer. I click washer. It lets me know it's only going to take a little bit of time. Make sure you remove that filament that just extruded out. That is important, otherwise you can run into some issues. And then you click build. You hear that? You can see it's already warming up again, so it needs to get to that 220 degrees Celsius mark. It's going to lift this up. Now, the other important feature you need to keep in mind with this is that you should always watch your print for at least the first minute to make sure nothing goes wrong. There's been times when I've walked away without watching it start the print build, and it comes back and I have a jumbled plastic mess on my hands, and I spend more time cleaning it than probably what it would have taken to actually build the plastic. So just being patient is a big key to 3D printing, and just making sure that everything is working. You can see down here it's still giving us those readings. It's at 212 degrees Celsius. The extruder has moved over here. It's very important that you never touch that tip with your fingers directly. For those of you that don't know Celsius, this is warming up to about 400 degrees Fahrenheit, so you can get severe burns. I always just take a little pair of snippers, and then I just grab any plastic that goes off. You can see now it's building it. It's sticking on there, and I can already see that this probably isn't going to be the right size I needed for my washer, but that's okay, because that's what 3D printing is all about, is just learning what you need done and how you're going to fix that. Alright, well, thanks for watching.